Yo, what is up, you guys? Today we are going to be reacting to the Restricted Salvation tape from the Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 teasers. And I will be trying and attempting to break it down on the way through. So, I'm going to go one time through without commentary, and then I'll start the breakdown. I know I said this part was going to be commentary-less, but this is editor CJ. I didn't notice this, but those dots right there, I'd mention them later in the video. They were not there, and then they appeared, so don't listen to before Colin. Listen to me now. Those are eyes.
Please. That's funny. You're the second person.
I'm fat today.
Said the other was my
Good friend, Preston.
Preston was
Always.
nice to me. You were never very nice.
Where are you?
Dr. Newman. I'm so glad you were there when I needed you.
Preston. Now I can be there for you.
Always.
Okay, so that was a lot to take in. Right now, I'm going to go through it and attempt to break it down for you guys, so stay till the end for the breakdown and watch it all. So we start off, I think this takes place after the last one where we see Preston and Dr. Newman talking after the Hour of Joy, trying to make their escape, and then whatever happened to them, this is what's happening, them running away. So let's go through and break it down right now. With Dr. Newman. Let me just turn this down real quick. We are with Dr. Newman in the lab, or like in the prison. It looks like the prison or the labs or something. So we're in this dark hallway. There's blood on the floor. And that could be from where Preston died, maybe, but from where it looked like in the last tape. Wait, did she say Preston right there? Okay, she did say Preston right there. So she's looking for Preston right now, which is PW. We learned PW's name. So now we're going to move on from this with Dr. Willard, or whatever her name is. I completely forgot already. So let's move on. Right there, we see a dead Brawn toy. I am personally thinking that that is the Brawn that they turned the scientist that had lung cancer and got put into the Brawn figurine thing. I don't know if it's true, but I think that could be him. I'm not very informed on this kind of stuff, but I think that could be him. So let's move on. Now we came in again. Get startled by the door closing. And right here, we get flashed with a bright, yellow light. I do not have a clue of what this is. I'm going to rewind it in 0.2x speed. Make sure you comment in the comment section down below what you think that bright light is. And then let's move on. And then she falls over right here. And this is where we get the big reveal that she fell next to the prototype. Yes, that is the prototype. He has all the legs. We still do not see his face. That is 1006 though. Let me just search this and see if there's anything good about it. Doesn't even tell us the date or time down there. It just says date/time set. So basically, let's just listen to the dialogue that the prototype has here. Wait, is that an eye or is that just a light? That could be an eye. That could be a glowing eyeball. Let's just watch and see if it moves with him. Oh no, I think that's just a light.
Now, Doctor. We must.
I'm so sorry. Please.
That's funny. You're the
Second person.
I'm hot today.
said the other was my
Good friend, Preston.
Preston was
Always.
nice to me. You were never very nice.
Right here.
Dr. Gilbert.
Okay, that was also a lot to take in, but the dialogue was, I've met 2 people today. So that reveals that during the hour of joy, the prototype didn't kill anybody. All of the other toys, all of the other bigger bodies, Huggy, Mommy, Kissy, Boxy Boo, all of those toys killed for him. He was not involved. He was just involved of the setting up of it. The only 2 people that he has killed are Preston and Dr. Willard, or whatever her name is. I'm sorry, again, correct me in the comments. And he was saying that PW Preston has always been nice to him, because in the last tape he was talking about how he never thought any of this was right, and he was also involved in the hour of joy. But she has never been nice to him, because she was experimenting on him. She was poking and prying at the skin and all of that, just like in one of the tapes, the prototype was saying that to Leet Pierre. And then now we know that PW, let me just wait again and go up. And then we hear the iconic VHS tape sound. Let's stop right here for a second. We notice that she is on an operating table in the labs where the prototype is. I don't think we can see anything over here that has any importance. I don't know what that is up there. Circle that, editor. Might just be like a sink or something, but I don't think I see anything of importance. I can't tell if that's a toy or what that is, but we notice that she's on an operating table, and what this reveals could be crazy, because I think we could see these employees in Chapter 5 as toys, which would be crazy to tie these restricted tapes into the game. That would be crazy, but let's just keep going.
I'm so glad you were there when I needed you.
Preston?
He says, I'm so glad you were there when I needed you, Preston. So he must have needed a body, a co-worker, a worker for some sort of experiment. And that experiment is revealed in a second. Let's just keep going.
Now I can be there for you.
Always.
Now I can be there for you always. Preston has been turned into a Cat Bee toy. There's the big reveal. I think it would be very cool if we see that Cat Bee toy come alive as Preston, and he either helps us defeat the prototype or he helps the prototype defeat us, because the prototype says, I can be with you now always. Which means that he could probably have him working for him, or that Cat Bee could be trying to help us when we get into the labs in Chapter 5 and we meet the prototype. Now, do I think that Dr. Willard will be turned into a toy? I do not think that she will. I think that he will use her for spare parts. Like if another toy needs like a brain or something. I don't know. But I think he will kill her because she has not been nice to him. Quote unquote nice. The significance of this is that we could see a dead body on an operating table that could be her in Chapter 5. Depending on if we get into this situation inside of this laboratory area where the prototype does all of his experiments. What I think will happen at the start of Chapter 5 is you will wake up on an operating table, like strapped down with your wrist tied down or something, and you have to escape there from the prototype and do what you need to do to find Poppy down in the labs with you. Find Poppy and Kissy in the laboratory and defeat the prototype throughout the whole game, right? I think you could see some of these toys that the prototype has been making, like Lily Love Braids, this new Cat Bee, which I think that's a Cat Bee, I'm pretty sure. Dr. Willard's body, maybe on an operating table near us when we're in that area at the beginning of Chapter 5. And maybe even see that new goo, the Poppy gel, getting fused into something or someone or doing something, and see that new weird toy that the prototype has been like experimenting on and like changing and stuff. I'll show a picture on screen. Here we go. Okay, and let's just keep going. I think it ends here though, and then let's just keep going. And then see you soon pops up. I don't think there's anything else on screen besides this, like, why can't I zoom in? Okay, that dot right there, circle that, editor. That could be the same dot like a prototype's eye that I talked about earlier. But I don't know. But that's like the only thing that's on the screen, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's not on my screen. That's actually there. So, how does this tie in with every other, like, restricted tape and stuff? This is a continuation of restricted tape. I can't remember what it is. Do a voiceover editor. Condemnation. It's tape condemnation. That restricted tape comes. This is the restricted _ salvation is the continuation of restricted tape that was the last one posted.